start with the oil only, as this is a top story. According to the International Energy Agency, world oil market is headed for a sizable surplus in the new year, as it reassured markets that the agency stood ready to act if required to cover any supply disruptions from Iran. Now, the agency, like OPEC, has already cut its global demand growth forecast for the year, citing weakness in the China. Now, the Paris-based agency now expects Chinese demand to grow by only 150,000 barrels per day in 2024, after consumption dropped by nearly 5 lakh PDP in August, which is comparison to the last month of last year, same month for the last year. Now, the fourth consecutive month of decline this particular news marks with.
Well, absolutely. And let's kickstart our coverage this morning then with commentary coming in from the Federal Reserve. Atlanta President Raphael Bostic said he penciled in just one more interest rate reduction of 25 basis points this year when he updated his projections for last month's US Central Bank meeting. However, he also added that his projections are not set in stone and that approach will continue to be data dependent in the days to come as well. Meanwhile, when you take a look at commentary coming in from San Francisco President Mary Daly, she also talked about how 1 to 2 more rate cuts this year might be on the cards, while noting that even with last month's rate cut, monetary policy is still working to bring inflation pressures down. Now, Daly also believes that the current Fed stance is still restraining the economy. So that largely is the kind of commentary that we're getting this morning, Priyanka, from the Fed.
All right, and meanwhile, according to the New York Fed report, Americans no longer expect higher inflation over the longer run, as their expectation of credit turbulence rose to the highest level since April 2020. Now, the report said that the inflation a year from now is seen holding steady at 3%. 3 years from now, it was seen at 2.7%, from August 2.5% estimate, and at 2.9% in 5 years, from 2.8% in the August. This is all fine. These findings are from that survey. Meanwhile, the report found that expected credit delinquency rates continued to rise and hit the highest level in over 4 years.
Moving on then, Bank of America reported strong third quarter results in a rather challenging environment, with revenue of $25.5 billion and net income of $6.9 billion. After tax, the bank's net interest income grew by 2% this quarter, confirming earlier predictions of a bottom in Q2 2024. Now, the bank's net interest income growth and increased consumer payments indicate stable economic conditions, despite consumer concerns about living costs as well. Looking ahead, though, Bank of America expects continued growth in net interest income as well.
Okay, talking about the earnings only, Goldman Sachs Q3 profits beat estimates. This was majorly fueled by the rebound in the bond sales. Now, the stock offerings and even the mergers that sent its share up more than 3%. CEO David Solomon, he flagged significant pent-up demand from clients in the days to come. The bank's deal backlog rose in the third quarter, which is driven by its advisory business.
All right, then moving on, athleisure giant Adidas raises its full-year sales and profit guidance, citing better than expected performance in the third quarter and good brand momentum as it benefits from demand for its retro 3-striped Samba and Gazelle shoes. Remember, the sportswear brand has raised its forecast for the third time this year, saying it now expected currency-neutral revenues to increase by around 10% this year, having previously forecast a high single-digit rate. Meanwhile, when you take a look at LVMH, that reported a slight decline in revenue for the third quarter of 2024, reflecting challenges in key markets as well as shifting consumer dynamics.
Okay, and then shares in semiconductor equipment maker ASML, that fell 16% after Dutch company published financial results a day early, issuing disappointing sales forecasts. The move pulled other chip stocks also lower, with Nvidia falling more than 4%, Advanced Micro Devices, Broadcom, all falling after the report. ASML said it expects net sales for 2025 to come in between 30 billion euros and 35 billion euros, at the lower half of the range it had previously provided.
There comes a time when your heart calls for you to arise. Plant your feet solid into the ground. Decide your own limits, and then break right through them. Become something more. It's my time to rise.
Hyundai Motor India Limited now proposes an initial public offering of its equity shares. The 100% book built offer is being offered at a price band of Rs 1,865 to Rs 1,960 60 per equity share of face value of rupees 10 each. The anchor investor offer period opens and closes on Monday, October 14th, 2024. Offer opens on Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. Offer closes on Thursday, October 17th, 2024. For risk involved and other details, please refer to the red herring prospectus, which is available on the website of the company, SEBI, BRLMs and the stock exchanges.